Support for the Living Wisdom podcast is provided by In Touch Pharmaceuticals, a long-term care pharmacy committed to meeting the specialized pharmaceutical needs of their clients. Visit intouchpharma.com. We are kicking off season 2 of our Living Wisdom podcast. I'm Karsten alongside Deb Carriveau, and we are doing something a little bit different this season. We are focusing on how-tos, and these are going to be perfect for you if you're in that pinch, maybe that panic mode. You can pull these up and know exactly what to do. So Deb, you're going to take it away because our first topic is all about bathing.
It is. So one of the very common challenges that caregivers encounter is a resistance by their loved one with dementia for bathing, and this adversity to soap and water, if you will. And so what I want to talk a little bit about is how do we manage that, and where might that be coming from. So first thing I would say is, any kind of personal care that we encounter with a loved one is such an emotionally charged issue, because for all of us, it's such a statement about our dignity, our independence, our just nature of adulthood. So when someone gets to the point with dementia where they need some kind of assistance or hands-on care, that becomes a really emotionally charged kind of situation for them. And then when you add the layer of dementia on top of that, they don't always understand why they need assistance or how they need assistance. The other thing that we do oftentimes as caregivers is we make the mistake of thinking that because our loved one has dementia, we have to take things over. And, we are hugely advocates of don't do things for people, do things with people. So the first thing I would encourage people to do is to make sure you're not doing more than you need to do. Make sure that you understand what is going on in the environment where you're trying to provide personal care. It's important that we look at, sometimes people with dementia have fear of running water. Just the sound itself, or having water run over my face and my head, can be a very anxiety-producing kind of thing. So I always tell caregivers, take a look at your shower head. You have a shower head that you can switch out for a handheld shower head with a hose, so that your loved one can have that, feel more control about where the water goes and how that happens. Is going to be a much less anxiety producing kind of thing. Take a look at, are you setting things up properly? Your loved one is going to be able to still continue to do a lot of things, but you've got to be able to do one step at a time. Give me a cue one step at a time. If you give me too much information, I'm going to be overwhelmed, and then I'm going to resist because I'm not necessarily going to tell you I don't know how to do that. The other thing is take a look at temperature. Is the temperature of the water good? Does it feel good on their skin? Have them test it before you try to put them in the water. The other thing is that privacy and dignity is a huge issue. So people with dementia, when you've got them stripped down and you're trying to provide personal care, they feel very vulnerable, very much like they have no control. So another piece of advice I would give is try to give them something to cover up. A sheet, a lightweight blanket that if it gets wet, it's not going to be a big deal, but only expose the body part that has to be bathed, wash it, rinse it, let them put it back under the cover, and then take the next body part. That way they feel like they have much more control over what's exposed and how that whole process is done.
Is there ever a point where you're saying, okay, we're tabling this and we're not going to do this today?
Yeah, there's no shame or failure in saying it's not going to work today. Sometimes you emotionally just have to read your person and know where they're at. The worst thing you can do is try to force someone physically to do something that they're resistant to, and the harder you push, the harder they're going to fight back, and it's just going to end up in big frustration for you, for your loved one, and it's just not worth that. The other thing I will tell people all the time is there are more than one way to keep a person clean, and being in a shower or in a tub isn't necessary. If I can put somebody at the sink and we can wash up daily, head to toe, you have the same option to keep people clean and dry and odor-free than just putting them under a shower necessarily.
One thing we love about this podcast is interaction with those who actually listen to it. So if you have your own how-tos or you're wanting to ask questions, what's the best way to contact you?
So the best way is to just reach out to Debbie Carriveau at the Living Wisdom Center at Hubbard Hill. Call our general number. They'll get somebody connected to me, and we'll do everything we can to help you. Sometimes just the nature of being a caregiver can be overwhelming. We'll never have enough time to cover all the possibilities in terms of what you're going to face. So do not hesitate to reach out. That's what we're here for.
Support for the Living Wisdom podcast is provided by In Touch Pharmaceuticals, a long-term care pharmacy committed to meeting the specialized pharmaceutical needs of their clients. Visit intouchpharma.com.